Hey everyone. You know, when I hear someone speak, I can easily understand whether they are native speakers or not. Surprisingly, English learners tend to consistently mispronounce the same words over and over again. And today, we're here to discover what those words are. Let's get started. Your task is simple. I'll give you a mispronounced word and you'll have a moment to think about the correct pronunciation. Don't worry, I'll reveal the right way to say each word right after. I'll also provide a quick comment on each pronunciation. Without wasting any more time, let's dive in and put your English pronunciation knowledge to the test. Let's start with our first challenge. Pronounce the following word correctly. Take a moment to think. I hope it was easy for you. The correct pronunciation of this word is cuisine. Never pronounce it as cuisine or cuisine. That's incorrect. The only right way to pronounce it is cuisine.
Those are the decorations, not the cuisine.
The key difference between a New Mexican and Mexican cuisine is the way you use your chiles.
Moving on to the next word, let's try to say it correctly. I know, it might be tempting to say biscuit, since some of you mistakenly think that this combination of letters should always be pronounced as qui, as in the word cuisine. However, that's not true. In this case, the correct way to say this word is biscuit. It's not biscuit, it's biscuit. Just remember it.
Well, Eleanor, these biscuits, amazing. Every year they get better and better.
For crying out loud, they're in the cupboard. What? Biscuits! Red biscuits, black biscuits.
And only 2 biscuits each.
Now, let's move on to word number 3. From my years of experience, many non-native speakers tend to pronounce this word as answer. However, the letter W should be silent. The only right way to say it is answer. Please be careful with the pronunciation.
He won't even answer me anymore.
Honey, move.
That's a good answer.
And before I answered him,
Let's move on to word number 4. Can you pronounce it correctly? A lot of non-native speakers tend to stress the first syllable in this word and say person. However, the stressed syllable in this word is the second one, so it should be pronounced as percent.
My fee is 15% of their future earnings.
Also, I want 10% of royalties.
50% of Americans believe him, 25% believe her.
Moving on to word number 5. Take a moment to think. The pronunciation of this word might be a bit tricky. Since the two parts of this word are not the same, non-native speakers tend to pronounce these two parts differently, like cacao or cocoa. However, in English, these two parts are pronounced in the same way. So, the correct way to say it is cocoa. Be careful.
You didn't even taste your cocoa.
Aren't you gonna drink your cocoa? I made it.
Let's move on to the next word. Do you know how to say this one? It might be tempting to say chocolate, since there are 3 syllables. However, you should pronounce it as if there is no letter O in the middle. So, the right way to say it is chocolate. One more time, chocolate. Please pronounce it correctly.
I guess you guys don't want to see me drink all the chocolate milk.
Isn't there chocolate just to die for?
Your chocolate cream pie.
The next commonly mispronounced word is the following. Take a moment to think. Again, since this word has 4 syllables, a lot of you tend to pronounce each syllable and say temperament. However, As in the example with chocolate, pronounce this word as if there is no letter E in the middle. It should be pronounced as temperament, with the stress on the first syllable. This is the only right way to pronounce it.
It's just, you and I have different temperaments.
You don't have the right temperament for the trade.
Different temperaments completely.
Now let's try to pronounce this word correctly. This word might seem relatively simple, but you'd be surprised how many people say it wrongly. Never pronounce it as audience. Remember that the combination of the letters A and U is often pronounced as O. So the right pronunciation of this word is audience. The same goes for audio, author, auction, and so on.
It's what the audience falls in love with.
George, at this point, the audience expects me to completely shock them all the time.
The audience wants to see action, adventure, wrestling, and plenty of it.
Word number 9. Try to pronounce the following one correctly. Take a moment to think. The pronunciation of this word might be a bit tricky since it's French, and like many French words, they are not pronounced in the usual way in English. The stress should be on the second syllable, and the correct way to say it is technique. Don't say technic or technique. Technique is the only right way to pronounce it.
It defines how you apply the technique to achieve your major goal.
I'm building a workflow of firing techniques.
My technique isn't perfect.
No, it is, but...
Next one. Try to say this word correctly. Remember, the second letter in this word is silent. We don't say sword. The correct pronunciation is sword. Remember it.
What are you saying? My sword hasn't seen battle.
I have a sword.
I asked you once to lay down the sword because I felt sorry for them.
And finally, our last commonly mispronounced word for today is the following. Are you certain you know how to pronounce this one? I know that a lot of non-native speakers think that the stressed syllable in this word is the first one and pronounce it as carrier. However, carrier is a different word. A carrier is a person, thing, or organization that carries or transports goods, passengers, etc. However, in this word, the stress should fall on the second syllable, so it should be pronounced as career. Please be careful with the pronunciation.
So glamorous.
Oh, no. My career is a disaster.
For the young working woman struggling to maintain a balance between her career and her personal life.
Have you know that at this precise moment, my career is on a high note?
Society, government, money, religion, careers, nuclear families, monogamy.
My career could really take off.
Bravo on taking up the challenge to enhance your English pronunciation. If you correctly pronounced all of these words, you're already at an advanced level or quite close to it. Give yourself a round of applause. Feel free to boast about your results in the comments. And don't forget to take this test to have an idea what your English level is. Thanks for joining me today. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more captivating language videos. Until next time, keep learning and shine bright.
Like a